Okay guys, we're gonna go for the last page, so that's the back of this page. We're gonna keep this also tight because we already have a 1/2 inch thick page. So what we're gonna do, grab a piece of paper and let's see, where's my glasses? I already raised my head to see it. Thank God we have reading glasses. Alright, what do I want? I definitely want to have more space for the ones who want to add more pictures. So I'm just gonna create an extra page for this. I'm gonna stay, let's say 1/2 inch. I'm just gonna eyeball it, guys. Let's just stay a little away at 1/2 inch, and let's score and cut. Okay. Tape on right away. Okay, let's add this on nicely at the bottom. There we go. So a nice extra page that flips open. You can add another one, but I don't think it's necessary. I think we have plenty space for photos in this album already. Now we're gonna make a nice closure for the top, but here I am gonna see if I have some leftover pieces that I can use. Let's say this we can use. Always go through your stash if you have some leftover pieces. Alright, so how wide do I want? Because I definitely want to make a nice closure. I think a 2.5 will do. Now this piece is already folded, so actually I only need to cut this down 1/2 inch and cut this 2.5. Yep. Let's cut this the same size as your page. Okay, so that is for this one. Do you want to make a nice fancy edge? Of course you want. At least I do. So let's see which one that we want to use for that. Oh my gosh. Don't worry guys, I did not use that much of the ribbons, but we're gonna do that, I hope, after. Let's see which ones. We can use just a simple that goes, or we're gonna use this right away, but I think it's I think I'm going to use the butt. I'm going to call it the butt. Alright, so here is my little piece. Just add this in the middle, at least if you want to make a mark for the middle, then it's always better. Then you definitely know you are in the middle. Go, redraw it. And like I always say guys, if you don't want, then just keep these edges for your if you don't want to do that, then just keep it straight, of course. You don't need to. Alright, choose a piece of paper that you want to use. Now I have used all, nope, don't lie, because here is my pile of my fourth set. I was not seeing right here, so I thought I used everything already. That's not true. This is my fourth set. So I am gonna see, what did we did on the back? Blue, pink, blue. I'm just gonna see which one I have the most. Pink, and this one is pink as well. So I think I will go for pink page. This we can, well, we can use it for pink and this is pink and brown, and this is a blue one, and this is a blue one. So I'm gonna skip these nice images, but also pink. So definitely gonna be a pink one. So what do we want for the top? I think I go for this one. Alright, gonna cut. I'm gonna make a full one, I guess. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this one as if I would normally use it for a full piece. Okay, I'm gonna cut this one. And then I'm gonna cut the edges off. Always use your little leftover pieces. So, I don't know about throwing, but I throw a lot lately. Alright, same thing. So this is going to be this direction. So choosing which one you will going. Not to the back, of course. Be staying nicely in the middle. Using a few clamps to keep it all in its place. Yep, and then I'm gonna cut it out. Yeah. Be back in a second. Almost forgot to cut also a back, so don't forget that. I warned you, maybe not on time, but anyway, so don't glue this down just yet on the back. I just chose this one, this plate one. Don't glue it down just yet. All right, let me add my lid on. There we go. Go. Yes, cool. You definitely can do these corners. Okay, so that is going to be the lid for our extra photo mats on here. You can make a pocket out of this, but I just want to make this an extra photo place. So you can just add this fully with pictures. Alright, let's see. I think I first go, because I want to add 2 pockets on here. So I'm going to do that first, and then I decide how wide our closure is going to be. Alright? Okay guys, first we're gonna split this in half. You can measure that if you want. And it's a small 3 3/4, a small one, guys. It's not completely a 3 3/4. I think I even can make a 3 5/8. That is here. And if I do the same on here, a 3 5/8, then I have a little opening, so that's correct. So I can stay away also a millimeter from the edges right here. So a 3 5/8. That is what we're gonna do. How high do we want it? I don't want to ruin too much space. I think a 4.5 inch will do. Alright, so grab a piece of paper, or if you have leftover pieces, this is a 4.5. I think we can use this leftover piece. Let's use it. Alright, so a 4.5 deep, meaning that I'm gonna cut this a 5. So we're gonna score 1/2 inch for the bottom, and I'm gonna score 1/2 inch for the sideways, and then I'm gonna score that 3 5/8. As we just talked about that. Okay, that's one pocket. Don't throw it away. You always can use it for tags. Okay, our next one. Same thing. Cutting 5 inches. 1/2 inch for the bottom. 1/2 inch for one side. And then 3 5/8. Was it 3 5/8? Yeah, it was. And cut it down. Alright, I'm gonna add tape on these pockets. Here we go, cut the corners. Fold everything, and then we are going to cut these in a shape, because two simple pockets, that's too simple. Okay, so we have 2 pockets. First, check. 2 pockets wide along. So if you put these wide along, then you see that you have space. So that's cool, because if I add this 1 millimeter from this edge and 1 millimeter from this edge, then I still have a 2 millimeter in between. Yes, that's perfect. Alright, what do we want? Well, first I'm gonna draw a little. What if we are gonna, let's say, I want to have this in an angle. I'm not sure with what. So what if we draw a 1 inch here and a 3 inch here? What if we do that? 3 inch. How does that look? And what if we do the same thing here? Then we have this triangle. What if we are going to What if we do a 1/2 inch? Let me do that on this side. What if we do a 1/2 inch and a 2.5? How does that look? Then it looks like this. Yeah, I think I like this a little bit better. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Did not redraw this. Nice. Alright, so this was a 2.5 from the bottom. And a 1/2 one from here. Where is my mark? Where is my mark? Here. Is it? Yeah, I just can cut that down with my cutter. Okay, and then this is the opposite side. So 1/2 inch from your left side, 2.5 here, and then we just can put the marks on your cutting. There you go. Do this with the other one as well. And there you go. Yay! That looks nice. Perfect. Cool. Yep, I like it. Alright, so let's see what kind of decorative papers that we're going to use for this. Keeping the pink vibe. And maybe I am going to use this for the bottom. So is it cool to use the same papers, or shall we do this one to bring it a little? Yeah, I do like it. The same one or this one? I think I'm going to use this one. I think I am going to do that. Alright, so how do we cut these? There is something that you want to save, and I think I'm going to cut from this one, or maybe we can save the top, but we still have 2 sets more, guys, so don't worry, don't you worry at all. Okay, so first what I do is I'm going to line this up here and then here, and then so if we just cut a normal piece, just completely normal, okay, then go back, place this on as just a normal piece with the white edges. And then if you can see here where your cutting is, then you can make 2 marks. I'm just going to go back in with the cutting machine, place the 2 marks and cut it off. It can be that easy. And then if I did it correctly, then I would have the perfect cut. But if it's not, then you always can go back. But see, I do need a little tiny edge right here. It's just not completely wide enough for my satisfaction with my edges. Yep, this it is. I'm not gonna make these too difficult. I'm just gonna leave these in the full. Well, maybe we can use a nice edge, and then at the end maybe a nice bow on it. That could be. Maybe I can add this one for the little round one. See, we can do this. we can cut this out. Perfect. Oh, how soon this is closed down. So this is a 1 by 1, and then cutting 2 corners, as you watched me earlier doing that. And then I just can place this on here and cut it out. Look at all the glue, but that's just the back. There we go. And then you always can cut these multiple times or even glue it down on some white. Well, I just had these, guys. I just had these left, so why not use it? Why not use it? Okay, so I'm gonna do the other one exactly the same. Then I'm gonna see if I want to have a nice edge to be used. So I will see you in a second. Well, this is everything ready. So first cut your straight line. Always use your leftover pieces. Place it back on as perfect as you can be, and then make 2 marks and cut it down. There you go, and then you also have your leftover piece to create another one. Yes, just because I already had it, but it's just a 1 by 1. Just a 1 by 1. So you just can cut it out. But you also can cut a 1 by 1 right away with these papers, of course, and then just cut the corners. But I already had these. Here we go. Maybe I am going to put this on some white to have a little bit more thickness and more why not? To have a nice white edge, of course, if you like. And why do I not use a round one? You can. You absolutely can. But I just want to show you because we have those corner punches that you also can make different shapes. Why not? Okay, I think 4 layers will do. I'm gonna let this dry and then I'm gonna cut it out when the time is there. All right. What a wonderful hobby we have. Keeps amazing me that I'm still not bored with everything. Made so many albums, but God, I can keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Let's see what strip fit nice. Can do a nice simple one. I can do the clock. Oh, that is also nice, the clock. I think I go for the clock. I think I can use 2, yep. go. And of course you always can decorate this. Just gonna watch a little bit what I have still. This is also nice. Decorate a little bit more. Otherwise I totally forget to use it. And we don't want to forget, of course. See some open. Oh my gosh. Been a long time. Yep, here it goes. That I use this one. I'm not going to use too much. It's just that there is something on. It's more than enough. More than enough, look, because I flipped it all over. Let's keep combing because I have put this on its head. Oh, see, it's throwing day today. I do throw anything on the floor. Now I'm just gonna end with this strip nicely on top. Oh, now I did not notice. Hope I still am. Oh my gosh, look at that. Nice. I was afraid that I was not paying attention. And I wasn't. But somehow I get lucky to have this the same height. Yay! Thank God. I also can use glue, of course, but sometimes it's faster to use tape. A little less messy. Here we go. Now it's time to put this on our pieces. And of course you can decorate your pockets every design or color or whatever you want, of course. It is totally up to you. Oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I love it. So sweet. go. Make sure it's nice and dry. Alright, so let's see. Can we add this first on, or yeah, I'm just gonna add this so I can use the other one for the background. Check, check, check. Wait just a second. Let's remove my marks. Check, check, check. This I like. Yep. So check first how white everything. And again, I'm just going to keep the other one on its place to see where this one needs to be. There we go. Alright, place some double-sided tape on, not double-sided, some delicate tape over here if you want. Yesterday, by the way, I need to oh my gosh, wait just a second, this is so off. I need an extra thank you to say, oh my gosh, why do I pull it? Oh my gosh, this is not normal with sensitive tape to tear that much paper. Okay, but what I was telling, I need an extra thank you because I do not watch the comments below my YouTube videos every day. Not every day, so once in a while I do check them and I respond, but not every day, guys. And I noticed yesterday when I was checking them a question about this tape, why I do this, and I do mention it quite a lot, but that's okay because I can't tell people to watch my videos minute by minute. So I do understand that there was a question why I used this tape, and there was another follower answering her, and thank you. That is so nice. I really like that. So, and it was a perfect answer. So yeah, thank you so much for helping me answering a question that I did not answer right away myself. So thank you so much for the person who did that. I really appreciate it. So that, yeah, that I needed to be said. Thank you. Alright, so we have, I'm gonna make our background with this one. Let's see, this needs to go a little deeper. So I'm just gonna go 1/2 inch lower. And this definitely needs to fit in these pockets. Okay, that should be it. I'm gonna cut it here. Using all the leftover pieces. Okay, so this fits on here. As you can see, so I place this, if it fits, completely in the pocket with a nice edge here. Then I'm gonna make a drawing a little bit where this fits in the pocket as well. So I make 2 marks. where my pocket edges end. And then I'm gonna see how deep this is, and I would go for a small 1/2 inch cutting here. Small 1/2 inch. And just fold this. You always can cut it off, but for now I'm just gonna fold it. Let's go in. Let's move in and see if it's fitting. Maybe I just made it, no, just helping it. It's just a little bit too tight, so just gonna help what I normally also like to do. Okay, so I'm just gonna helping. See, now my papers can move in. Oh my gosh, look at that. And I went a little too deep, but if I move this a little up, see, it's just a millimeter. It still looks fantastic. So I'm gonna leave this. I'm not gonna cut it off. I'm just gonna leave it. It looks amazing. So I'm gonna smooch my edges. I'm gonna put that on. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can do that as smooth as we just did. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Place that nice and smooth and straight, and then you have the perfect background. Smooch it down, burnish it down. That is the word. Yep, I like. Okay. Nice. Okay, close this down, and now we're first going to cut our little pieces and place them down on the correct side that we want. I like it. Okay, so I'm first going to place the first piece. And I'm going to add my next one. I really like this shape because now I can place this nicely here. I like it. And I'm just going to use a chipboard, 1mm chipboard. Oh, first here. To give it a little space. So you don't need a spacer, guys. You don't need to use this method. There we go. Yes, keeps it nice. Let's go out with a piece of paper. Sorry for the noise. Piece of paper, piece of string. Sorry for the noise. time. Here we go. And now we can add also the back. So it folds everything on its place. Here we go. Nice. And then this closes down just like that. I hope everything will stay on its place. But if it moves, then that's totally fine as well. But yep. Okay. I like it. Look how cute this is. Yep. And then 2 little pockets. Yep. Cool. I like it. So that is the outside. And let's go, yeah, we do need some photo mats in here to decorate this, because I'm not going to do anything else. Just, I'm not going to make any pockets, because we have pockets here and we have so many pockets on this one. So this piece, we're going to keep it for the photo mats. Alright, and we always say, always can do that later, if you want. Okay. But I do have some leftovers. Glue. So maybe I am gonna do this with this one. What do you think? Shall we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Some leftover pieces. I think we can do that. So let's see how we can decorate this nice. Okay guys, my page looks like this. So I created this in between because I think that looks amazing. You are my everything. And then I made these 2 tags. Yeah, this is actually 1 strip. One of these where I created these 2 tags with, just to keep them not that equal. And I use the silver edging again, but again, it's not, if you are not into the silver, then of course you don't need to. And then we have this closure, opens up. Then I have, yep, I could not resist adding 1 nice image on here, and then used quite big ones, just because you can add a wonderful picture here and here, write something down, and maybe 2 small ones here, maybe even gonna write something right here. That's totally up to you, but this is how I decorated my photo frame pages. So I kept it easygoing. Alright, so I like this. This is nice and flat because, yeah, the back is pretty thick already with a 1/2 inch. So that is it, guys. All the pages are done. Let's see how everything is coming back. Look how nice. And if I do not add any other embellishments, then I have a thickness over 2 3/4. But of course we have more embellishments to use. So, but what do you think so far? What do you think? I really like this one. It's a nice big one, and then this busy one. So easy with busy. I love that. And then this is pretty much pink, and this is pretty much blue. So I love that too. Well, what is not to love about this? Yep, and then a nice pink one. Yep, I definitely like these 4 pages. I'm gonna stop, of course. I have 2 sets left, but still I need to do the cover and the inside covers. So I hope you liked these pages to be made. So yeah, let's see what's next. Cool. We are still not done, guys. Still far from done. So stay tuned, guys. Don't go away. Lots to come. Hey guys, I am ready to cut my chipboard. I have 3 pieces of 2mm, and so I'm gonna cut 2 pieces, 10 1/4 by 8 1/4. So I'm gonna cut it just this piece off, and my 3rd piece is going to be 4 by 10 1/4 inch, and the rest, who knows what you're gonna use it for. But this is first how I'm gonna cut my pieces. Okay guys, make a note. So we're gonna cut 2 times 10 1/4 by 8 1/4 inch, and then 1 time 10 1/4 by 4 inch. That is the chipboard measurements we're gonna need, and then it looks like this. Okay, let's make it all together. Okay, I'm gonna use the same papers for the outside as I use for my pages. So I am just going to attach, I think, I don't know exactly how much, but let's just first attach 1. There we go. Attach these 2. Of course, we need another one, as you can see. So this is the first one, and this is the second. So we definitely need another one. So let's add another strip of tape. Go. Flip this around. Okay, now before I'm gonna add, I need to tell you, for those who is this the first time making a cover. Alright, first check if everything fits. Yep, everything fits on here. Oh, not completely in frame, but otherwise I need to adjust this to white. Alright, so first what I like, we just added these 2 papers on here. Now what I don't like, never ever, is that if I'm going to attach these 2, that I want these attachments near these attachments. You understand that? It's too thick, it's definitely not going to work. So what I like to do is I'm just gonna start with the middle one. And I'm just gonna start that in the middle, so I be absolutely sure that these gaps, these openings, will not near those attachments. Now I also don't want to have any air bubbles, so I don't be, I call that cheap cake for the glue, because you don't want to have any air bubbles. So I'm just going to place enough. So I'm just going to stay in the middle. Place it down. And then we can add the other 2, especially on the edges. go. Sorry for the noise. Just try to be everywhere. Alright. Now, the space between these two chipboards, I normally like to have a 4mm in between. That is more than enough. You don't need to be, you don't need to use 5mm, but 4 is definitely what we need. And if you have enough space, then your paper will definitely not crack either. So that is nice. So I'm gonna add my other one as well, and then I'll come back to you. If you are ready, then just turn your chipboard around over and just burnish this down so all the glue will be nicely attached onto your papers. Especially on the edges. Alright, flip it back. There we go. Cool. Let's do the corners. Now, there are tools to create the perfect corner. I don't like to use tools for that. You can even use your ruler if you want. Place this here in a nice corner and just make a mark. How far is it? Yep, perfect, absolutely perfect. You can use that, or you just eyeball a mark to stay away 2mm. That is plenty, that is more than enough. You also can eyeball it, what I normally do, but it is totally up to you. So I just gonna grab a corner right here, and I'm gonna stay away 2mm, and then I just like to split this a little bit, so this is not this is possible, but I don't like this completely in an angle, so I do like to have a little bit more. So I'm just gonna cut to the 2mm, and then I just flip my scissor. So 2mm is a nice distance to use. And that is exactly what I'm going to do on the other side. But as I told you, if you want to have a tool, if you want to have your ruler against it, it is totally up to you. But just stay away 2mm from the edges, from the corners. That is all that I like to tell you. Alright, then my next favorite step, what I normally do, is I'm gonna add tape to all the edges of the chipboard. It is so much easier because your edges of the paper are going to attach immediately to the chipboard. But we're also going to use glue, of course, but the tape helps it easier. It's just what I like to do. Alright. Okay, first step. Start in the middle, like here at the top, and just bend this with your fingers against the chipboard. And then just use your fingers to bend this nicely, step by step, against the chipboard, and you will definitely feel it. Okay, then we're gonna peel off the tape. There we go. Then, of course, there is some glue involved. Just place it in this against the chipboard, and then at the end. That'll do. Then we're going to start in the middle again. And as you can see, the tape holds it down, and now we just gonna work our way out to the sides. Same thing here. Work your way out to the side, and then just squeeze everything down. Now I have to be careful because it's white paper that I don't want to waste a little bit. I don't want to waste too much of the but I'm going to tell you, I don't want to ruin the white edges with my dirty fingers. I'm going to burnish this down as soon as I have finished the other one. So just flip it around and let's do that again. So make sure your hands are not with ink or whatever if you're also going to use light papers. That's the second reason why I do love to use black papers. Then you don't have to be that careful. But it's nice to use sometimes a different color. Especially with papers that are light as well. It is nice to keep it all delicate. Alright. Again, start in the middle. Be aware of the glue. And otherwise use a tissue. See, that's so much better to be secure. Alright, burnish it down. Cool, and now I can burnish this down gentle with my bone folder to give these edges even a better touch, a better edge. Here we go. Do the same thing with this. See how extra nice this is. Just do it gentle. Here we go. Yay! Let's go to the sides. Now, as you can see, we have these little heads, these little corners right here. What I like to do is just use your bone folder and just go around the corner and make it flat. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Go around the corner and make it flat. That's all. That is all. Let's peel off the tape. If it's willing to work with me. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. Use your fingers, so step by step you fold it into the chipboard. And then you're just gonna use some glue. Don't ever use too much glue, especially on white or a light paper. And then just, here we go. You use your tissue in the corners, burnish it down. Perfect. Here we go. Let's flip this. Let's do these corners. There we go. Yep, burnish it down. Corners. And then if I'm correct, then you will have nicely cool edges. Yep, cool. I like it. Now before I go, what I like to do is grab, maybe you have a ruler or a bone folder that does not have too sharp thin edges. What I like to do is just push my paper into these grooves, and then you can fold it completely flat. Let's do that on the other side. And this you only have, when this is nice flat, you only have when your gussets, the gussets are wide enough. See, so the paper is inside those grooves. See that? That's just perfect. Cool. Alright guys, that's for the basic cover. Let's see what's next. Okay guys, next. I'm definitely going to use some bookbinders linen, and I can't resist using this pearl white bookbinders linen. I love it. So first I'm going to cut this the correct size. I'm going to cut this 6 because the spine is 4 and I definitely want to overlap a 1 inch. So I'm going to cut this a 6. And then we always, don't throw this away, you always can use this to make a nice belt. I don't know if I'm going to make a belt, but you can use it for that. Then we are going to, it's no use to wrap this around. So I'm just going to make exactly the same size. Here we go, don't throw it away. You never know where I'm going to use it for. You never know with me. Alright, so that is ready. Okay, I'm not going to add this on just yet, but it's ready. Because first, I think I first go check on the binding. Alright, so we have our pages. And I also like to explain a little how I come up with the measurements. So if I place my page wide along the spine, like here, as you can see, then I have this space. Now I definitely never ever want to have my pages wide along the spine because of the thickness of the pages. That is just not doing any good. So I'm going to stay away a 1/2 inch. So I have my pages nicely on the edge. See here? I even can make it, I think, a little wider. Because I want to have the space, guys. So how much do I have left? I even can make it 3/4. Is that necessary? Maybe not, maybe so, I don't know. But so we definitely stay away. I think I'm just gonna go in between, then I am safe. Alright, so that is what we're gonna need. So the in between, so that's each time a piece of paper that we're going to use. Okay, and the rest will be for the page. Now we have 4 pages. Now let's see, and a 4 inch. What if we stay away a 1/2 inch from the edges? Okay, and what if we then we have a 3 inch left. What if we add a 1 inch in between? Then we have a 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. I think that will do perfect for to put the pages inside. Now our pages are, what was they? I'm not gonna measure that. I'm just gonna grab my tunnel page, and is 7.5 by 10. Is that correct? Check, check, check. Yep, it's a 10. So our binding needs to be also a 10. So it's pretty narrow, not narrow, but we don't have that much over space. And that's perfect because I don't like too much space. So I'm gonna grab my scoreboard, and let's see if I can. And I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna make a card for you guys, but I also like to explain everything. So first watch and then do it along with me, okay?